Shooting Suits with Mark Kayser.
Proper shot placement. It depends entirely on knowing the right distance. That means you have to spend a little bit of money to get a great range finder. The one I've been using lately is the Nikon Rifle Hunter 1000. It has some great characteristics that give me all the information I need from one readout. First, it has incline-decline technology. That means you're always going to get the right reading whether you're shooting straight uphill with your rangefinder or straight down into a deep canyon where that mule deer buck might be hiding. The next thing I like about this rangefinder is the fact that it can read your target right through grass. How many times have you had a big buck standing out there on the edge of a food plot where there's a little bit of that switchgrass and you can't get the reading because it's trying to pick up the grass? This rangefinder will read right through that. Finally, the viewfinder is built so it varies with the light. If it gets bright out, you're always going to be able to see the distance. In the same way, if it gets dark, the technology is great for any condition. Your shot depends on knowing the right distance, so don't be cheap when it comes to buying your rangefinder. You know, one of the biggest mistakes hunters make is being too impatient. And I've seen that over the years with my own self. In fact, it's one of my pet peeves with hunters. They just don't take enough time when they spot an animal. Here's a classic example. All these little fingers could have an animal in it. So the first thing you need to do is have patience in glassing. My second pet peeve is the fact that you don't want to be shooting a lot. And how many times have you been out on opening day and you hear boom, 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 and you guys just tearing it up? Every hunt should be a one-shot kill, or strive for that. So if you do spot an animal and he goes into a bad place, then your next plan of attack is to look for an overlook, a bench, maybe a funnel, someplace where he's got to pass by where you have the ambush advantage. Then wait him out. Let him bed down, make sure he's staying there, then move in. Look for a good little knob, any type of overlook, maybe just a tight funnel where he's going to come through, and set up your ambush and wait. You may have to wait there 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, but it's much better than just rushing in, like I said, guns a-blazing, and likely having a miss or even worse, a wounded animal. We're all striving to be better shots, right? I am anyway. Well, one way to do it is to use all the information you can on the internet. There are a lot of different programs, a lot of different research avenues out there where you can find more up-to-date information, not only on the caliber you choose, but on the cartridges you choose as well. The best one that I've found is Nikon SpotOn Technology. It's a whole system designed around helping you learn the trajectory of the ammunition you're using and putting it to use in the field. All you need to do is add in the caliber that you're using, the rifle scope and reticle, and put in the factory ammunition that you're using. You can even get information on hand loading there. And then it all comes up. All the trajectory information you need to make great shots from 100 yards out and beyond. You know those long range shots that we all dream about? Well, you'll have the information in hand to practice them and be ready in the field. SpotOn is even expanding as we speak. They're adding new loads all the time, and they have different information like apps for your smartphone, and you can even now get custom turrets for your rifle scope, so you don't have to guess anymore about the windage and elevation. SpotOn is going to be spot on for me this coming fall when I get a big buck out there at 400 yards. One of the greatest assets when you're out hunting, it's optics. Regardless if it's your binocular, a spotting scope, or even a rifle scope on your firearm, optics help you pick apart the landscape, find game, and once you find game, you can evaluate them. Now, binocular is great for that big scanning chore when you're trying to pick something out, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, a spotting scope is the only way to go. My Nikon here is great for helping me not only field judge an animal, but determine even the best route to get to that animal. But it doesn't do a very good job if I don't have a stable base. And I've hunted with a lot of my friends, and they'll simply pull the spotting scope out of their pack with no tripod. And then they're trying to rest it on this flimsy pack, or maybe even on an uneven rock. There's no stability there. Do yourself a big favor. Buy a lightweight tripod, keep it on your spotting scope, and keep it in your backpack. That way, if you see something, you can pull it right out, pop it up, and be stable and viewing the animal without any wiggly, jiggly distractions. Hey, let's face it, optics are gonna cost you a lot of money, but if you wanna get the most bang for your buck, you need to be stable. A tripod on your spotting scope, that's the only way to go. And once you go there, you're always going to have the best view in the house. Now, this type of hunt can be extremely tough on your binocular. First of all, we're crawling to get into position. I've beat up a lot of binoculars over the years, and I definitely don't want to hurt my new Nikon edges because they're such a good quality optic. So what I use is a bino wrap, this bino shield. Stick my Nikons in there, tight against my chest. It keeps the dust off them, it keeps the rain off them, and when you're belly crawling, like I like to do, it keeps your binocular safe from any scratches that might hurt not only the glass, but the outside. Now in high winds like this, and as you can tell, it's windy, sometimes your binocular strap will actually buzz from the high winds. So I stick my thumbs in there just to tighten it up just a little more, and it gives me really, really good stability, and you don't get that buzz and chatter in your straps.